The injury I sustained was during my junior year of high school during football practice. I had come down and landed awkwardly, which ended up causing a hamstring tear. This happened toward the end of practice, and I was able to uh, play it off fairly well because I didn't want to end up missing any playing time. Due to me not telling anybody, no one helped with my injury. I ended up tearing my other hamstring also a few weeks later, and um, I didn't even realize it until after the season had been completed. Once the season was over, I went to see a doctor, and after once I did get the proper help, the care that followed was appropriate. Uh, with that being said, I would definitely change the way the injury was cared for on my end, as it turned a minor hamstring injury into a long term or long lasting problem. The injury now is relatively fine. However, it occasionally still causes pain after playing any sort of sport like basketball, or cold weather can also cause it to flare up. Um, Now, common long term effects of hamstring injuries, um, those can be anything from recurring pain, reduced flexibility, and a higher risk of long-term injuries. I will say it definitely did affect my flexibility. Um, the anatomy of a hamstring can be defined as a group of muscles in a post posterior compartment of the thigh. Uh, they consist of biceps femoris, semitendosus, and semimembranosus, which form prominent tendons medically and laterally at the back of your knee. These muscles cross both the knee and hip joints. As a group, they act to extend the hip and flex at the knee. Um, a torn hamstring happens because of a hamstring becoming overloaded or overstretched, which is why the second one occurred, or which is what caused, I guess, what increased the likelihood of the second one occurring. To prevent a hamstring injury, you can use proper stretching prior to or after practice to help strengthen, or to help with the flexibility of the region. You can also do proper strength exercises to help improve the strength of your hamstrings and the muscles around the hamstrings, such as doing curls and lunges. Um, only sorry but it also helps create better balance within your legs. There are three types of hamstring tears. Grade one, which is it usually only lasts a few days to a week. Grade two is roughly about 1 to 2 months, and then grade three can last up to like 6 months, and may require surgery. The signs and symptoms of a torn hamstring consist of a sharp pain in the back of the thigh, a popping sensation, bruising, and weakness in the leg. The first aid for a torn hamstring should be icing shortly after the injury and resting the injured leg. Hamstring surgery is uncommon unless the injury is extreme. One hamstring muscle surgery is, or open hamstring muscle surgery is the most common form of surgery to the hamstring, with many open hamstring muscle repair being the second most common form of the surgery performed. I believe DeAndre Hopkins had open hamstring muscle surgery when he tore both of his hamstrings. Um, Treatment post surgery will begin when the individual is still in crutches It usually takes about 3 months post-surgery to fully recover, to fully complete the recovery process, and the treatment will be to rebuild the strength of the injured leg. And then after about 6 months is usually when people will go back to playing sports.